Hello everyone. As we promised, I'm going to explain dial plan editor from SimoTel Call Center so you can view how many features we've developed in such a simple, easy to use environment. If you have some basic knowledge of Asterisk or other VoIP related platforms already, you probably will be more impressed by how much possibilities we've provided in comparison to other similar softwares. So, every call flow begins with a root component. If a call is made from inside of your complex, then the corresponding call flow begins with an outgoing route. And if the call is made from outside to your complex, then it begins with an incoming route. Or the call might be made by your auto dialer module that we introduced it in our quick review before. Then you need an auto dialer route for that call. For every route component, we need to define a context first. A context is like a scope for the extensions and trunks in the system. It's like a tag. For example, you might have set a context for 3 of your employees to Department of R&D. Then here you set the context for this component as Department of R&D. So this incoming route would be just applied to those calls belong to those employees. Okay, a call comes to the system through that context. Now, if the caller's number is this and that caller dialed this, then go to this route, caller ID and destination ID. If any caller dialed this number, then go to this route. If the caller's number begins with or ends with this number, doesn't matter, he dialed what, go to this route. And if none of these conditions are met, then go to this route. Similarly, for an outgoing route, if any of my employees in that context dialed something like this, then go to this route. This field actually gets a pattern, so a lot of numbers can be matched to a single pattern. Auto dialer route gets a text as a condition, which had been defined in the campaign parameters here. So, multiple campaigns can be a match for this text. Any call that belongs to those campaigns will pass through here. Now we proceed to IVR component. If a call comes to IVR, this announcement will be played for the caller. It usually asks the caller to press a key or dial a code. And if no code is dialed within 3 seconds, then this announcement will be played and the first one again. And if the dialed code is invalid, then this announcement will be played and the first one again. Enable direct call. Let's let the caller to dial an agent directly. This circle will be repeated this many times. Timeout announcement will be played after this many seconds, and the caller is just allowed to dial this many digits. So, what are the dial options for the caller? If he dials 1, he goes to this route. If he dials 2, then he goes to this route, and etc. The difference between IVR API and IVR is that IVR API doesn't check the dialed number by itself. Instead, asks from a web service URL, actually usually a CRM, and the web service responds that, for example, number 2 should go to route 3. So it's useful for the system to collaborate with other systems to process the call. To be even more collaborative, we have a smart API. It sends the call information to a URL, and the web service in response can tell what exactly should be done to the call by a certain set of commands that are various and well documented. For example, Playback will play a specified audio files in the server. Say number will announce a decimal number as a whole. Say digit will announce a digit only one by one. Say duration will announce a time duration. Say clock will announce a time. Say date similarly will announce the date. Get data will play an audio file and gets an input from the caller. Exit finally will tell the component to pass through which of the cases. These commands will be received by a smart API and it performs the task and then goes to the route told by the API. We think this is an awesome feature because it adds so much flexibility to the system and a lot of scenarios can be designed by this feature. Okay, if the call reaches an extension component, then either an agent can be ringed directly or that agent can be calculated from the DID itself. Just skip the first 5 digits of the DID and then add this digit to the beginning of the result. And then ring the calculated extension. And there are some extra technical options that can be set for this component and descriptions for each option is available right away. Now, if that agent answers the call, the route continues from this output and the other output otherwise. Extension component, just like IVR, can ask an API that which extension should be ringed. As simple as that. Queue component is very similar to extension component, except this one will cause a queue of agents to be ringed, with the possibility of announcing the agent's number to the caller. Queue that should be ringed is either can specify here or can be a calculated queue number from the DID. And there are some options for both the queue and the extensions. A trunk component is used to select a specified trunk to be used for the call and is usually used for outgoing calls. You can limit the allowed queues or extensions to use this trunk, and some technical options for this trunk are available also. And trunk API that can ask an API what to do. Ring group is for grouping a set of agents to be ringed together, so when the call flow reaches here, those agents will be ringed all together. A DSA component will give the caller an open line to do whatever he wants with it. The caller can dial a number and make an outgoing call. This component can be either password free or need the caller to dial a password first. Similarly, an authentication component is more general and can be used anywhere in the call flow and ask the caller to dial a password before proceeding to the next component. A poll component can be used to get a feedback from the caller and ask his opinion about the service he's getting. The caller hears this announcement and then passes a number between 0 and 10 and finally hears this announcement. An answer component picks up a call. It means the caller will not hear the ringing beeps anymore and goes to the state of answered. After that, you can process the call. In fact, you need an answer component before doing any interactions with the call. A pickup component is used to pick up someone else's call. What does it mean? Assume one of your employees is sitting free and phone in the other room is ringing. Nobody's in that room to pick up the phone. So the free employee will dial a feature code to enter this component. Then he can pick up the phone from his own desk. These are the possibilities. Pick up any ringing call in any room. Pick up the phone only if it's ringing on this agent's desk. Don't pick up the phone. Instead, after I hung up, ring me back so I can view the caller ID and then decide to answer it or not. The agent I want to pick up the call for can be also calculated from the DID, the feature code that I dialed actually. A callback component can be used to kind of redirect the call maybe to a different trunk. For example, you can call the office from your home and reach to this component. Then you hang up, and after 3 seconds, the system will call you back, and when you pick up, you're actually using this trunk. And your caller ID is this number. It's pretty cool because you can put a diesel component after this one, and then you can call one of your customers from your home. But you're actually calling that customer from inside of your office. Okay. As some extra features, you can specify the number which you want to dial here, and you can directly call an agent. A call completion is used when you want to do something with a waiting call. For example, when a caller reaches an agent and that agent is already talking and cannot answer the phone. That call can be redirected to this component and the call ends. Then, when that busy agent becomes available, the system will call both the agent and the caller and establishes the call. Okay, be ready because it's about to get more exciting. Follow me is when the agent is busy or not answering the phone. You say call this agent instead and even call a number through this trunk. In this way, you will never miss a call in your company ever because the customers can dial your company and your phone in any part of the world gets the ring. Okay, moving on. Corrector actually trims a number, detach from or add to the beginning of a number and pass it to the next component. Voicemail is used when you want to dial a feature code and reach to this component and listen to your voicemails. Also, a caller can reach to this component and be able to record a voice message for you. Conference is pretty simple. Every call that reaches to this component will enter the conference and can talk to others who also enter. Announcement is used for playing an announcement for the caller and then go to the next component. Mix monitor will be used for recording the conversation. Every call that reaches to this component will be recorded afterward until it reaches another mix monitor with the type stop recording. And there are some additional options as well. Time condition checks the time of the call, and if it satisfies the specified time, then passes through here, and otherwise passes through here. And time can be specified like this. In each day of the week, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and also 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And it should be only in this particular month. And I want to make an exception for these special holidays. Spit detection checks if a call is an spit call or not and decides which way to pass it through. Similarly, blacklist checks whether a call is blocked or not. And whitelist can pick from previously specified whitelist in PBX or get the whitelisted number directly from this field. And as a mind-blowing feature, we allow any VoIP developer to design and build a dial plan here with asterisk commands or upload a PHP or Python file containing the dial plan codes here. Jump components are for simplicity of the dial plan editor. You can jump the call flow from one sheet to another by this component. You say jumper 1 will go to there, and this component will go to jumper 1. So this component will actually are going to that component. Components can be also renamed for more readability. An actual dial plan can look like this. There are some calls that goes out of this office, and these are the routes for incoming calls. And you can see a loop here. A call can go all of this way and go back to the point before IVR. You can export a sheet from one system and import it in another system. Well, that was it. We hope you're impressed with these useful features, and if all of this is not simple enough for you, don't worry, because we do it all for you in a way that is best for your needs. If you have any question about dial plan editor or even about the entire call center, don't hesitate to ask. Contact information are available in the caption, and take care.